Lift Coffee Roasters, Gio. So Lift Coffee Roasters is one of my favorites and Adam's favorites coffee shops here located in Riverside. They have 3 locations and they also have one in Whittier. And the reason we love Lift is not only just because of their coffee, but really their environment. When you walk into a Lift Coffee Roasters shop, you'll see the subway tile. Hey, by the way, Adam's here. Do you want to say hi?
Hello.
But yeah, they have subway tile throughout the entire, like one of their locations, which is my absolute favorite, was, what was it? It was like their old coffee roasting place, right? And then they converted to an actual shop where people can come in and hang out and drink coffee, and they have cool leather tufted sofas everywhere. They have amazing copper lighting, just a great bar looking area where they're also roasting their coffee right in the back, and they'll give you a tour of it. It's just a cool place. And you don't see many places like that in Riverside. So today we're gonna go ahead and interview Gio and just kind of get a backstory on basically on Lift. So let's get to it.
Very cool.
All right, everyone. So we have Gio on from Lift Coffee Roasters, co-owner. So Gio, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Yeah, thanks for having me. First of all, my name's Gio Alonso. I co-own and operate a chain of cafes. Our strongest brand is Lift Coffee Roasters. That's born and raised in Riverside. So we're very, very honored to be to have been accepted so well in the community that I grew up in.
Very cool. We're so excited to have you, Gio. I can't even tell you. I mean, Adam and I are a big fan of Lift Coffee Roasters. When we first started off Leone, we would meet all our clients there, and we actually met you there. So it's been a real pleasure having you on. So Gio, I'm going to go ahead and ask you some questions just to fill in everybody on kind of the backstory of Lift and who you are and really your part in everything. So Gio, tell us how you got started in the coffee business.
Okay, so I'll tell you about what we stand for and who we are. So Lift Coffee Roasters, what sets us apart from the rest is that we truly are a company that's driven by a single origin, ethically sourced coffee.
Nice.
So what does that mean? How can you relate to that? Is that we travel to Costa Mesa. My farmer's name is Ronaldo. He has a little boy. How many coffee companies, Starbucks, for example, do they know who their farmers is? Do they know if they use pesticides in their farms? So it's not so much that other companies are doing it bad. It's more that we're taking it as a culture. We're introducing, educating, and really refining the craft.
Nice.
Gio, are you saying then your coffee is fully organic?
We do have organic options, but it's not fully organic.
Okay.
But
Technically,
technically, all coffee is vegan, and most of it's organic.
Okay.
So.
Very cool. But what you're saying is that there is that heart and soul behind the coffee. There's a story behind it, and you say you educate your consumer, and that's basically.
Huge.
Yeah, it's huge. So that's great, Gio. So how did you get started though? Why coffee?
Well, coffee to my partner and I is a great way for like-minded people to bond and bounce ideas off each other. And so I'm going to say Warren Buffett said it, but I'm not exactly sure who said it. But he said that if he could find one Steve Jobs in his lifetime, then he could impact the world.
Right.
And I mean, you guys have been into Lyft or Augie's or other coffee shops that's full of creative college students that are motivated to make impact.
Absolutely.
Just to create an environment where this is friendly to them.
Right. So now, how did you meet your partner? Because you have your co-owner and there's your partner. How did you all meet?
That is a very good question. So my partner, Leva Lesson, she has a long career in healthcare. Recently retired from being the CEO of Caremore Medical Group. And so the reason that her and I teamed up is because I grew up in downtown Riverside. She grew up in uptown Whittier. And over dinner one time we were thinking, how can her and I get together and improve, elevate, beautify, and really just get connected with the communities we grew up in.
Right. Very cool.
Yeah.
So now who came up with the concept? Because you had kind of mentioned a little bit before to Adam and I is that you have a backstory behind it. What is that story behind? Because it seems that the coffee kind of came from your side, right? And she just kind of wanted in on it and helped out and you guys partnered up. But how did it get started as far as coffee? Like, why coffee, you know?
Well, yeah, no, coffee's great. First of all, coffe's great.
Everybody loves coffee.
Yeah.
Yeah, everyone loves coffee, but the brand was created by a friend of mine in high school, and Lift Coffee Roasters started in 2013. By the end of that year, entrepreneur of Southern California, and that's because that's our blood, sweat, and tears into it. Maybe coffee is the vehicle to what we want to do.
Sure.
But the reality is that our philosophy is a 3-pillar philosophy. Okay. It's beauty, community, and commerce.
Sure.
And the fact that we can use something as relatable as coffee, something that the conversation started to actually amplify beauty, community, and commerce, it just made sense.
Mm-hmm.
Love it.
Perfect, Gio. I love that answer.
I love that answer. I mean, that is really setting well with me and Adam. I mean, I'm sure.
I love that.
That is awesome. All right. Well, hey,
Thank you.
I think people would like to know your journey. I mean, you've mentioned to me before that you started from the bottom and worked your way up. Tell us a little bit more about that.
Yeah, my dad worked 3 jobs. My mom was disabled. I grew up in a very, very modest neighborhood in Riverside, and so it was a journey. It was a hard journey, but it was a journey that I knew that I wanted to do. Meaning that I wanted to get out of that environment. I wanted to be able to help out my family. Fast forward. Years later, Lift Coffee Roasters has adopted the street that I grew up on. So once a month, a nonprofit comes and cleans State Street. I've adopted Park Street because it's another historic part of the city. Once a month, a nonprofit comes and cleans that street. I like, as a small business owner, I encourage other business owners to do what's right and to help out the community, because the community essentially is our clientele.
Absolutely.
It is.
I mean, it sounds like you guys are doing great things at Lyft and for the community of Riverside. It's awesome to hear, Gio. But let's switch gears a little bit here. I want to talk about the design in Lyft. So one of the things that drew Adam and I to Lyft was the design and aesthetic. You've all created spaces that makes folks like want to hang out there and really stay a while. Who designed it?
Gio did.
Gio did, right? Yeah, I remember you mentioning that's awesome. So tell us a little bit about that.
I don't know how to humbly answer that.
No, and that's fine. There's no humble answer to it. Hey, so how did you guys? How did you, Gio? I mean, the aesthetic is awesome in there. I mean, just to describe this to you guys a little bit, there's the leather tufted couches in there. There's that real industrial, almost
airplane wings.
Yeah, like it's amazing in there. I mean, that's really what drew Adam and I in there, to be honest.
The reclaimed wood walls.
There's reclaimed wood everywhere. There's subway tiles.
Well,
makes you really want to just...
That's through the couple locations.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, all locations.
Are you familiar with the story of the airplane wing?
No, so tell us a little bit about that. Lyft, right?
So we replicate. I know that it's not. We don't have a wing at City Hall or at the Roastery, but we have a wing at Lyft Whittier, and as we continue growing, we'll always put a wing. Nice. But the reason is because talk about community oriented. That airplane wing is from an airplane that crashed in Riverside in the 60s. It crashed in somebody's backyard.
Oh, wow.
And this is long time, like 5th generation Riverside individual. Mm-hmm. And we got a hold of that weed, and we turned it into a coffee shop.
Wow.
That's cool. It's a cool story.
That is cool. See, I love that.
Yeah.
I love that. That is great.
Because it's very sneaky community. It's kind of putting it in there. There's a story there, but nobody knows the story unless somebody asks, which is really the cool thing about it.
Which kind of ties into, like how you said, it's a conversation starter.
It's such a powerful story that even though people don't know, they already feel like they're at home.
Yes,
right, absolutely.
It is cool. Yeah, because you see it and you know there's a reason why that's there.
That is cool. Yeah. Yeah, because sorry to interrupt you, but no, it just ties it. And then with lift, I mean, what does coffee do? It lifts you, it gets that energy up. So it all kind of tied in right perfectly, right?
Yeah, perfectly.
That's cool.
It ties in perfect in so many ways, and it also makes for a pretty cool coffee bar.
Sure.
Yes, it does.
Absolutely. All right, so Gio, what's the future for Lift look like? What can we expect to see?
Well, we're currently opening in Costa Mesa near the camp.
Okay.
So that's definitely on its way. Paperwork's been submitted to the city. We're looking into downtown LA property, see if we can get into. But the easiest way I can describe what we want to do is just good coffee for good people.
Nice.
Good. That's bottom line. We want to see a bunch of happy, smiling faces coming into our coffee shops.
Gio, do you ever think about competition, or do you just kind of work your own?
Yeah, I try to function with blinders on because I have my agenda, and my agenda might be different than everyone else, and there's really no reason to. But definitely support, I believe, is an important key.
Sure, absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. I mean, Adam and I always say that if let's say you're running this race, the energy it takes to look back, just to look back really just robs you from your direction of where you're going, and it slows you down. So I always say never look back, just know yourself, right? Yeah.
Absolutely. It's almost like if you live in a neighborhood. In your neighborhood, you have to practice camaraderie.
Right.
I mean, otherwise you're not going to have a good neighborhood.
Absolutely.
I feel the strongest when everyone works together as a team to thrive. And I know. So here, let me finish explaining that because I know that sounds very flowery.
Yes.
But our job as all of us as third wave coffee owners, our main priority should be to educate the public of the specialty and craft of coffee. It should not be to step over each other.
Right.
So for me, I just want to educate people about what we do.
Yeah, I love that.
I feel like that's a big thing that we try to implement with us.
Absolutely. That's you know what, Gio, that's great that you say that, because we were gonna have our show today be about competition, but we decided to push that on to next week. But you know what, we actually have been talking about this because we sell homes, obviously. And so we sell homes, we always say we're in the business of homes. So we don't just do real estate, obviously we build and we refurbish these homes, but we say this is that when it comes to competition, we're in the business of providing people their dream home. And like you said, educate people about the coffee, educate them about the process and the story behind it. So it's the same for us. There's homes for everybody. It should be about providing our community with a home, it shouldn't be about competition. So that I love that you touch on that. I really, really do. Okay.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. So to finish this off, I really wanted to ask you some questions. And the way I do this is I always say just short answers. I'm going to ask you to finish the sentence for me. So great coffee is?
Great coffee is coffee that brings you closer to other people.
Perfect
answer. Awesome. The world needs?
Yeah. Oh, you want me to finish that one?
Yep. I'm going to ask you a series of them, yeah.
All right. The world needs more Beyoncés.
I agree about that. That's a good one.
I mean that.
I love it. Okay, so Riverside is?
Riverside is a city of arts and innovation, and we're bringing Cheech Marine to bring the biggest Latino museum in the world. That's what
That's cool,
Riverside
man.
is.
That's gonna be really cool.
I'm so thrilled about that. So.
That's awesome. We can't wait.
Where's that going to be?
They're replacing the library and moving the library somewhere else. So
Okay. So it's going to be right in downtown, huh?
It's going to be right in downtown. It's going to be really good for the community.
Absolutely.
Very cool.
That's exciting. I can't wait for that. Looking forward to it.
I can't wait.
So one more, or actually, one more here. So I know
I
for
thought
sure.
I had you with the Beyonce one.
No, one more.
That Beyonce one was good.
That was good. But I got one more for you. So I know
All right,
for
go
sure.
ahead.
I know for sure that. That one's a tough one. It stumps everybody. But I know for sure that. I know it's a hard one, but
no, that's a tough one.
Yeah.
I know for sure that when you put people over profit, you always profit.
Ooh,
that's a good one.
That's good. Let's take a moment. That was good.
That's good right there.
Yeah, that's awesome. All right, Gio, my gosh, what a pleasure. Honestly, having
thank you so much, Gio. It's been a great today.
Yeah. So everyone, go ahead.
I was just going to say it's been my pleasure. Thank you.
Thank you. Everybody, I'm going to go ahead and link Lift Coffee Roasters locations. There's 3 in Riverside, right? And there's 1 in Whittier. So we'll go ahead and we'll link those.
Costa Mesa in a month.
Costa Mesa in a month and more to come. So, all right, Gio. So we'll talk to you soon, okay? You have a good.
Okay, you guys have a good one.
All right, everyone. That's it for today. We'll see you next week, Good Vibers.
I'll see ya.
Bye.